So just before the video does start, a quick little ad on a trading service I offer over on Twitch. I basically do trading guides for both Xbox and PlayStation for all budgets, from silver trading to icon trading with shadow trading and special card trading. On top of that, I do investments for Weekend League, Pre-Team of the Week and event investing. And you do have the ability to DM me one-on-one with any individual questions. And you can get all this for £4.99 a month or free if you have Amazon Prime. Yo, what's up guys, and welcome to a brand new video and another trading tutorial. So in today's video, I'm going to try and speak English and teach you guys how to do the new shadow method. Now, I'll be honest with you, it is nothing like the previous shadow method, which is probably why it's so good, because the previous one has got kind of crazily competitive, and as a result, it has become extremely ineffective. So I've got a brand new one for you guys, which I've been doing over the last month, and trust me, this method is actually banging. It is so good, but it does take a little bit of patience to quote take that. So this method, it is basically you are researching players, finding what they sell for, and then just going through that list one by one. So I'll give you guys a little example. Here is a list right here of players and what they sell for with shadow. So what I've done is I've either gone and bought these players and then sold them, or I've gone and found these players and then added them to my watch list and then seen that they sell on for those prices, and then I've gone and written it down. So for example, we've got what do we have here? We have Arias's Atletico card. So how I would have put, and I've put the right prices of 3.9k, 4.2k and 4k. This means that I've either seen him sell for 4.2k, 3.9k and 4k, or I've personally sold it myself. Now, obviously when you haven't sold any cards yourself, how are you going to know what players sell for? Well, what you're going to do is you are going to head over to the transfer market, you're going to go and put shadow in, and you're going to go and pick a player. I will tell you in a sec how you're going to go and pick your players, but I'll explain, I guess, the core basics first. Then I've gone and found myself an Atletico Arias. This is the cheapest Arias on the market, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and add it to my watch list. But why am I going to add it to my watch list? Well, when this card goes and sells on, like all these cards over here that I've gone and sold on, it is going to go and sell on, and it's going to show you, you know, bid by now. Basically, it's going to show you that it's gone and sold on. And as a result of it, as it's showing you that it's sold on, you know that someone is buying it. So as a result of someone, you know that someone is buying an Arias, Atletico Arias with shadow for 4k, you can go and write down Atletico Arias 4k. But why would you do that? Well, I always use the analogy of when you're a child, you do not know how much a Lamborghini is worth, or a Ferrari. So when you're a child and a Lamborghini is offered to you for £100, you might say no, because you don't know how much a Ferrari or a Lamborghini is worth. But then when you know when you know how much a Ferrari is worth, and someone offers you it for £100, you go, yeah, go on then, yeah, you know, you take the Ferrari. Well, this is the equivalent of a lot of Ferraris. So, if you don't know how much Arias is, so if Arias pops up with a shadow for 1k, you wouldn't know that's a deal. But if you go and add that Arias to your transfer targets, he sells on, you now know that Arias is worth 4k. So if one pops up for 1k, it is the equivalent of Ferrari popping up for £100. You know, it's a good deal, you're going to buy it, happy days, 3k profit. So what you're going to do is you're going to go and do this with loads and loads of players. As you can see, I've got a few examples there. Ake was 13k, Alderweireld 7k, Arias 3.9k. And the idea is basically you're going to get a bank of players, and you're just going to go through them one by one trying to get deals. But first off, you need to get the research. Now, how are you going to find cards that work? Now, it's pretty easy. Just head over here to Footbin, head over to Players, and then go Version Gold Rare. Now, what I would recommend is look for players probably between 2k to 20k. The problem with anyone over 20k is obviously tax. You have 5% EA tax, you obviously want to keep out for that one. So I'd say minimum buy now. You could even, I'm not lying, there are loads of players out there who are about 1k who you can trade with. Like Coutinho works, Bruno Perez works, Bellerin works. There's a lot of cheapos out there. I think Renato Sanchez works, Cyprian works. But if you want to keep it safe, you just go 1.5 thousand. And then maximum buy now at 20k. And now what you're going to do is you are just going to go through these players one by one, and you're going to see, is there a big enough difference with a shadow than there is without a shadow? So we'll start Sissoko. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and find Sissoko with a shadow and Sissoko without a shadow. By the way, this is literally the exact same, like this isn't any BS sort of method, this is the exact same way I find players myself. So Sissoko with a shadow is 20k. So Sissoko without a shadow would generally have to be 18k for it to be worth it, because if he's 19k, literally you can see there's only 750 coins between what he is with a shadow and without a shadow, and as a result, after the 1k tax, there's no money. So we'll avoid him. Alright, next person on this list is Fabinho. Now, I'm not going to lie, you will see the more expensive and more mainstream players actually be way, way less, you know, usable for this, but Fabinho with a shadow sells at 19k, so Fabinho without a shadow would have to be 17k for me to be able to bet net 1k profit. Because the idea, right, is that you can go and pick up these players with a shadow for the same price they are without a shadow. And if you can't pick them up for the same price they are with a shadow than they are without a shadow, then there's no room for profit. You literally would have to go and snipe the player. The next player I do know works because it's actually one player that is on my list, and that's Busquets. Now, Busquets probably works because not many people actually use Busquets, therefore there's a relatively low supply of Busquets with shadow. So again, we look at Busquets with a shadow. You can see right there, 21k. I actually flip him for 21k. And then Busquets without a shadow, you can see is 19k, or even less than 19k, it might be even 18k. So the idea is that Busquets is going to get listed on the transfer market with a shadow for 18.75k. Then you'll be able to go and sell him for 22k. So basically the profit you make is 2k after tax, or 1.9k after tax. And that's not bad. The profit you're looking for is about a k. These deals are really easy to get, so you don't even have to worry about 1k. You can go 700 coins because you could go and pick yourself 10, 15 deals in one run of the list of players, as long as you have enough players. And, you know, you're making 7k every 10 minutes. Or 7, you know, well, I guess you have to allow them to sell on. But you're getting 7k's worth of deals in 10 minutes if you have enough players and you can just go through them one by one by one. So, as a result of finding out that there is a 3k difference between what Busquets is with a shadow and what Busquets is without a shadow, what I can do is I can now just go Busquets shadow. And as I said earlier, what you can do is you can go and track some data. So you're going to go and add, you can add 2 of them on your transfer list. And then when they go and sell on, what I would personally do is I would go over here, I'd go and type Busquets in. Busquets, probably spelled that wrong. Type 87, and I'd go, alright, Busquets is sold for 21.5k. And again, the reason you do this is because when you're going through your list of players, I'm now going to go, alright, so now the Arias I searched earlier is going for 4k. Well, going off the presumption it's sold on. Plus, I have data that it sells for 4k. So, our Atletico Arias sells at 4k. Are there any for 3k? No, there aren't, but there is one being listed up for cheaper. Again, if I was to buy that for 3.7 and sell it for 4k, there's not enough money after tax for it to be interesting. So, we'll let that one be. Okay, so let's say that Busquets sold on. Okay, so I know Busquets sells for 21.5k with a shadow. Can I get him? You probably want to get him below 19.5. No, nothing below 19.5. The idea is I'll just go through a list of players one by one by one by one by one by one by one. And I'll just get loads and loads of deals. This is literally the method you'll see me do loads of Road to Glories, because for me this is the most efficient method on FIFA in terms of making coins. That's the thing. I think there's a few things I'll talk about. Weekly rewards, every player with a shadow does drop. Of course, if the gold player's card price rises or drops, the price of them with a shadow will drop. So fair few of the players work really well. I can like plebby players or SBC fodder, just like Busquets. So if Busquets rises loads for an SBC, you're going to have to adjust your shadow prices. And likewise, if SBC's fodder is flooded, Busquets might go down to 17k of a shadow. Which is why I do this personally. I do today's sell price and yesterday's sell price. Because what you can do is, whilst you're waiting to gather data, I mean, you don't have to gather data every day, but just understand that this market is changing a fair bit. So expect it to rise, expect the players for shadow to rise. I'd say Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, then Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, or even Thursday after weekend league, if it's like a more expensive player, expect them to drop. So yeah, there are price trends in this as well, but this is what I gathered data from today and yesterday. You can see that yesterday Ake was going for 14k and today he's going for 13k, so you can see there's quite a price difference. Likewise with Advild, this would have been Wednesday's prices and this would have been Thursday's prices, so you can see that there is a drop with the initial weekend league, but I imagine they've rebounded a little bit. Obviously, Ake is still one of these players that is probably getting taken out of a lot of people's teams, so that's why he's dropping. Is he starting to rebound a little bit? Yeah, there you go. You can see he's starting to rebound. He just dropped with the initial weekly rewards of 13k, and he's straight back up to 14k again. A few things with this, you don't have to worry about selling for the cheaps on the market. It's a little bit of lazy buy, a little bit of the old tech avion on this one. So, you know, the players should fluctuate back to the prices you get them at. And yeah, that's probably about it. It's an amazing method. I have been literally doing this method so much. Even if you've got like, oh yeah, how much you need to do this method? 50k. You don't even need that. You know, it's nothing too crazy. Also, if you're more into sniping, what you can do is you can just pick one player and just try and snipe them. Personally, a player I find works really well is Navas. And again, this comes down to him having a massive price difference between what he is with a shadow and what he is without a shadow. It's really weird. He's been like this for ages, but without a shadow, Navas is what, like, well, 3.5k? No, he's about 3.9k. But then with a shadow, I think he sells at 6k. So that's a 2k price difference between having a shadow and not having a shadow. And as a result of that, there's a lot of money to be made picking him up, because a lot of players only have about 1.5k difference, but Navas has a very high difference. But what you can do, because he has such high difference, is literally just keep trying to snipe him at 5k, and then every one you snipe at 5k, you can go and sell at 6k, and you'll turn over a 700 coin profit. Doesn't sound crazy, but he pops up, like, not only will he pop up very commonly, but he'll pop up for like 3.5k. He might pop up for 4k. As I say, there is a 2k difference, and a lot of people list up cards with a shadow, then they are the same price without a shadow. So that's another thing. If you're more into your sniping, just pick one player and just keep trying to snipe him. This works really well. I know people will literally pick a player and they'll make really good money off of it. After 6 PM, this method's really effective because you've got a lot of people panic selling stuff and changing up their teams. After rewards, this is a very effective method, although I understand there'll be some price adjustments. And yeah, selling cards overnight is also pretty good because, what's it called? Because overnight, obviously cards become rarer with chem styles, and as a result, a lot will sell on. So I think, I think that will wrap it up. Hopefully it has helped you guys out. I do stream about 12 hours every single day. Every day. So do feel free to jump in my stream. Tell me, alright Dan, I don't understand this. But yeah, hopefully it's been a good tutorial. This is my go-to method, and this is what I do recommend you guys doing. The previous shadow method was good, but it's just... I mean, I try sniping under that filter nowadays with pretty decent market knowledge, and it's just an absolute nightmare. So yeah, that's why I've made this video, because I kind of feel a bit guilty recommending people the old shadow method, because it's nothing compared. This one's amazing, trust me. You can make 30, 40k an hour. You just need to be patient. You need to be patient because, you know, you've got to learn the prices. You don't have to write them down. You know, if you've got good memory or whatever, you can just, you know, I don't know. You can write them down on paper. You can just remember them. You could just do a pool of 10, 20 players and just have a really good, I don't know, mental memory and, you know, remember the players or whatever. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully this makes you guys some good money. I personally know, I love this method. It's a brilliant method. But thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in another video.